Storm, your private life is, of course, your own. However...
Sir, if it's about that little misunderstanding in Peshawar the other night...
It isn't. The lady in this case is above question or reproach.
Then there is a lady in the case.
Yes, a very great lady, Mr. Storm. Maharani of Bwanipur.
Tara?
Then you do remember her.
She's not the kind of woman one forgets, sir.
How did you happen to meet her?
Well, it was at a garden party. My grandmother's estate. She was the guest of honor. But that was 8 years ago in London.
Yes, I knew she'd been brought up in England.
Yes, by the request of the Maharajah. Well, he'd always been friendly to the crown. He thought it fitting that his bride-to-be should be raised in our tradition. Of course, she'd been promised to him since, well, ever since she'd been born.
I see. Did you know, Mr. Storm, that the Maharaja is dead now?
No, sir, I didn't. I'm sorry to hear that.
He was assassinated in his sleep.
Assassinated? Sir, you don't mean to imply...
I'm implying nothing, Mr. Storm. I'm merely stating a fact. The Crown's strongest ally in Bwanipur has been murdered. And his widow, whose sympathies are still an unknown quantity, sits upon the throne as the regent.
What has all this to do with me?
Yeah, a very great deal. I have here a most unusual request for your personal services from the Maharani herself.
I don't understand, sir.
It seems that she fears an uprising amongst her own people in the wake of the Maharaja's untimely death. She feels that she needs the help of a military man, one that she can trust. She has asked me to send you to Bwanipur on detached duty at the Royal House to properly train our troops for such an emergency.
Do you doubt her motives?
No. I question them. Look here, Storm. Suppose this woman is not on our side. Suppose, for the sake of argument, that she was responsible for her husband's death. Suppose that it develops that in training her troops, we're actually training them to be used against us.
It's possible, I suppose. But I can't believe it.
Frankly, that's what worried me. Would your personal friendship with this woman interfere with a cold evaluation of the facts?
I doubt it, sir. However, if Mr. Rhodes comes along, I'm sure he can balance the scales.
Excellent. You and Mr. Rhodes will leave for Bwanipur at your earliest convenience. Yes. It seems I've kept you up rather late, Mr. Storm. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Lieutenant William Storm of Her Majesty's 77th Bengal Lancers.
We are graciously pleased to welcome these brave officers of a gallant regiment to Bwanipur. Welcome, my friends.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Please, no formalities. I can remember when you called me Tara.
It's a lady's privilege to remember, and a gentleman's duty to forget. But your wish is my command.
Then I command you, with a wish to remember me as I was.
You haven't changed.
You have. It's quite becoming. Mr. Rhodes, your presence here is quite unexpected, but no less welcome.
Thank you, Your Highness.
I asked for the help of only one officer, one whom I knew and trusted. But I suppose your Colonel Standish thought it wise to send another. one whom he knew and trusted.
I hope you'll share his confidence in time, Your Highness.
Perhaps, when I'm confident that you're here to serve me, not to observe me.
Please, Tara. We both know you've been through a ordeal.
The mutterings and unrest of my people have been a source of great anxiety to me.
Coupled, of course, with your natural grief and shock over your husband's unfortunate death.
The death of my husband was a great loss to the state. My own personal loss was something less, since I hardly knew him as a man. Ours is not a marriage as you understand the word, but rather the joining of two royal households.
I understand. And I assure you, Your Highness, I had no suspicions.
Suspicion, Mr. Rhodes. An unfortunate choice of words. I am the Maharani of Bonipur. I am above suspicion.
Of course, Your Highness. Forgive me.
I'd like you to meet my brother, the Raj Kamar Kuran Surat. May I present our honored guests, Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Storm.
A pleasure. Perhaps Mr. Storm would enjoy seeing your gardens, Tara, while I introduce Mr. Rhodes to our guests.
You see, I have a most diplomatic brother. He knows we have much to discuss. 8 years to bridge between London and Bonipur. You will excuse us?
Of course.
I'll see you later, Rhodes.
My friend, you must leave Bonipur at once. Your life is in grave danger here.
What do you mean?
I can say no more. Not here. The palace crawls with traitors and spies, like a sewer full of rats.
Where can we talk?
There is a place. Above the shop of Sir Darbawan, the wine merchant, in the street of the bazaar.
I can find it. When?
Tonight. Look for a time when you can leave without anyone seeing you. Go to the guards at the south gate. They will pass you through.
It's growing late. We've talked the night away. Your friend, Mr. Rhodes, must have a very poor opinion of our hospitality.
Nonsense. The Queen can do no wrong.
I sometimes think the Queen can do no right. I was rude to Mr. Rhodes, but since my husband's death, there's been so much doubt and suspicion. I've been guilty of it myself. I distrust even my friends. I fear my own people.
But why should your people want to harm you?
They love my husband.
But if they rise against you, break with the crown, they'd be overthrowing everything he stood for, too.
I know. But since his death, they've been like fatherless children. Troubled, sullen, resentful, fearing power, resisting aid.
He must have been a very strong man.
He was. Strong and kind. But in his kindness, he did a cruel thing to me.
Cruel? How?
He sent me to England to be raised as an Englishwoman. But I'm not English. And now I'm not even Indian. It's hard to know where I do belong, even for me.
You belong to both, Tara.
Please, you know better than that. If we were of the same world, we might have spoken tonight about the present or even the future. Instead, we've talked only about the past and what might have been.
There are times, Tara, when your world and mine, the past and the future, seem very close.
Please, don't make it more difficult. Promise me one thing.
Yes.
Promise that you'll never doubt me nor desert me while I need your strength.
You have my promise.
Quickly. This way, before the shock arouses the people. Up here. We should be safe in here.
Who are you?
Surely you have not forgotten our appointment, Mr. Rhodes.
It seems I owe my life to you, Your Highness.
A small debt, considering the current value of human lives in Guanipur.
Mine was worth about 5 rupees when you stepped in. But I don't think the men who tried to kill me were representing the common people.
Why do you say that?
This knife I took from the man you killed bears the crest of the royal house.
I know. Such weapons are used by our own palace guards.
That doesn't surprise you?
Before I answer, do I have your pledge that whatever we say is never repeated outside these walls?
All right. Little enough to give in exchange for my life. Are you telling me that this uprising has penetrated into the palace itself?
It has its roots in the palace, my friend. Tara, you must believe this one thing. I love my sister more dearly than I love the state, India, or my own life. That's why I swore you to secrecy. That's why I'm sworn to stop her from letting her own ambitions drive her to destruction.
But I don't understand. If Tara is planning to break with the British, why should she invite us here?
To train her troops.
Not to put down an uprising against the crown, but to lead one.
Yes. Despite her European education, my sister's sympathies have never been with your people.
And the death of her husband was...
Convenient. No more. But with all my heart, I believe that she was innocent of that.
Still, she's not above using us and using her friendship with Storm.
No. Most of all, she is a woman, and a very clever one. But there, it seems, you were a complication.
I still am, Your Highness. I still am.
What happened to you?
While you took a stroll through the garden, Willie, I took a walk in the streets. Nearly got myself killed.
Can't I trust you out of my sight?
It was worth it. I learned a lot. Quaint customs of the natives, picturesque habits, things you don't find in guidebooks. Now take the queen who starts a revolution against herself. Now, that's pretty picturesque.
What are you talking about?
We've been taken in, that's all. That fine blue-blooded friend of yours makes Lady Macbeth look like a saint. She wants us to start a war against ourselves. That's a fairly new wrinkle.
You're not making sense, Rhodes. Who have you been talking to?
His name doesn't matter. He stepped in to help me fight my way out when 3 of the Queen's errand boys went to work on me with ease. Take a good look. Compliments of the Maharani.
You put together a wild story like that out of this kind of evidence?
I got the rest of the story from the man who saved my life. He had nothing to gain by telling it, except to keep the Queen from starting something she can't finish. And he had plenty to lose, including his head. That's why I've got to keep him out of it.
Well, he's a liar. Tara didn't have anything to do with it. She couldn't have.
Where did you learn that? From her?
Now, stop it, Rhodes. You don't know her. You don't know anything about her.
All right. You know all the answers. But I've got the questions. Why did she bring us here to protect her from something that doesn't exist except in her own mind? And what really happened to her husband? And how much moonlight does it take to blind you, Storm?
So help me, Rhodes. I'm trying to remember you're my friend, but you're stretching it mighty thin.
We're getting out of here. I've already alerted the troop. We're leaving in the morning.
Now, just a minute. We're not going anywhere. We're here on detached duty. We take our orders from Tara.
Maybe you do. But if there's going to be a fight, I intend to be on the other side.
And you're leaving without me.
All right, Storm. That's the way you want it?
Yes. Because if you're wrong, Rhodes, if she isn't plotting against us, then you'd be doing exactly what our enemies would want by running out on the job we came here to do.
All right, Willie. For you, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. For now.
Take the honor guard to the palace stables and dismiss the men.
Honor guard, left wheel into single file. Forward, march!
Well, gentlemen, what do you think of the troops you have to train?
Your preparations for peace have the sound of a major offensive, Your Highness.
It is our fervent prayer that strength of arms will make force of arms unnecessary. We hope to hold the state safe and secure against the day when our young son takes the throne.
Of course, and...
What is it, Rhodes?
Excuse me, Your Highness.
What's this all about, Rhodes? Do you know this man?
Intimately. Last time I saw him, he was dead.
You sent for me, Tara?
Yes, my brother. Have you seen this man before?
No, never.
You should remember him, Your Highness. You killed him last night.
That is not the man.
It's a face I'm not likely to forget.
Take him away. You can spare yourself the humiliation of a denial, my brother. The man was frightened. He told us many things.
You see, it occurred to me that since you didn't have to kill him, perhaps you really didn't have to save my life.
Why have you done these things to me, my brother? Are you so hungry for power that you would betray your own sister who loves you, who would have given you anything you asked?
Yes? It's true I wanted power. And you were the nearest way to it.
But you must have known you could never reach the throne.
I could reach it through you. I could control it. I'm better fitted to rule than you, or your weak Maharajah.
The Maharajah was your only obstacle.
No obstacle stays in my path for long. Not the Maharajah, certainly not this pair of cheap adventurers. You would have been wise to listen to me when I warned you of the people's anger. That to appease it, we must break with the crown. Instead, you sent for them. But I shall still rule through you, my sister. These two are unimportant and will die. But you cannot betray me, because I am the brother of your blood.
I would have given you all of India, had it been mine to give. But now I I must deny even the blood tie.
You cannot. I defy you to summon your palace guards.
Place my brother under arrest. Obey me. Arrest the Rosh Kamar.
You see, they await my orders. These are not your guard, but 2 of mine. Much of the palace already belongs to me. Seize them. They are enemies of the state. The people will be told that you died for conspiring against them. This will be the incident which unites the state against the crown. My sister will regain the confidence of her people through her prompt action. And we shall rule long together. But you will live only long enough to see your friend lying dead at your feet.
Who will answer now? My brother's men or mine?
They're ours, Your Highness. Goodbye, Your Highness.
Goodbye. I am fortunate indeed to count such men as you among my friends.
I'm proud to be one of them, Tara. I'll be waiting for you in the courtyard, Storm. Will you be all right now?
Yes. There is a place for me here. Standing between 2 worlds, I can perhaps in time bring them closer together.
I won't forget you, Tara.
And I will remember, too. Yesterday is a part of tomorrow, my friend. And so, the future will not be empty. You must go now.
Goodbye. Ready to start back? I am if you are. I'm as ready as I'll ever be.